Hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Kera Dangerous Talk.
Yes, we made it.
We
We
made it,
made
my
it, girl.
brother. Let me tell you something. This is going to be a
Woo.
treat, not just for you, but for me. Shaun Weiss, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm really good actually. I got a
That's
wedding to go to tomorrow, so there's like love in the air and stuff like that.
yes. Let me tell you something, Shaun. I love weddings. I love receptions. I love all the love that's going on. That weddings are
Same,
my thing.
same.
Yes. And I cry like
I'm
a
trying to
baby too.
I'm trying to catch the bouquet. Is that
Oh,
okay for a guy to do that or what?
yeah. Get yourself
Okay.
out there.
I will. Trust me. I'm be throwing elbows.
That throw some balls on them. That's ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, we're gonna have to. I may have to get you out on one of these sites and get your profile picture out there. Get you on one of these
You know
dating
what?
sites.
You know what? I thought about that, right? But here's the thing. Out in LA, I tried it. But like within a 15-mile radius from where I live, the only girls on there are like ex-Laker girls.
Oh,
They're
what's
like
wrong
girls
with that?
my age. What's that?
What's wrong with ex Laker girls?
They're just out of my league, Kara. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm swiping left. I'm swiping. I'm like, I can't swipe on this girl. Like that's an insult to her. I can't even swipe on her. So there was like three girls. Like I'm not even swiping on the girls that I like at this point. I'm just swiping on the girls that I just won't offend. You know what I mean?
You is
And
crazy.
there was only two of them, and so yeah, so I gotta like either widen my radius or move out of LA. One of those two.
Let me tell you something. When I used to build a data sites, thankfully I don't have to do that anymore. It's
Oh,
like
God
it
bless.
it exactly. It's so many, and I hate to say this, but beauty is really in the beholder. But for me, it was so many unattractive people. Like I'm just my fingers just like this, Shaun. Just like
Yeah, okay.
and then when you find somebody that's attractive, I make a mistake and swipe over them because I'm so used to just swiping up. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no. And there's
Oh,
no way to go back. You can't. No, I guess there's not.
if you
You
pay
can't.
for it, you can go back. But I'm cheap,
Oh,
so I didn't pay for it.
yeah. Well, I feel like the women can have the free accounts. Can't you guys just get away with the free account?
No, it's not like the club, Shaun. We
Oh,
can't
okay.
just get in free on Wednesday. We gotta
Okay.
pay.
All right. Thank you. I thank you for educating me on that because that's what I thought. I thought it was like OnlyFans, like chicks come in for free.
Let me tell you something, Shaun. I don't know what you expect from this show, but let me tell you something. People absolutely adore you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No, I'm not trying to be sweet. This is the truth. I have a best friend that I've known since diapers. You know, she's always busy with her baby, but I told her you was coming on the show tonight, and she said, I gotta show up for my boy Goldberg. She said, I gotta
Nice.
show up for my boy Goldberg.
Well, shout out. What's her name?
India.
India. What's up, India? Oh, that's a beautiful name.
It's all
That's where
right.
I'm
We
trying
ain't
to
gonna give
go.
all that, Shaun. We ain't gonna give all that. It's all
Well,
right.
you already made the intro, so why mess with why mess with the apps? I'm right here.
Look, that's what I'm talking about. And you know what? You actually said the key word. You said intro. So before we get started on this amazing time, I'm gonna hit the intro. Let everybody know where we at. How you feel about it?
I think that's a really good segue.
All
Very,
right, here
very
we go.
smart.
Yes, and we're back. Yeah, you like that? You like that?
I was into that. Yep,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
my
into that.
song, Kara Dangerous, right
You
there.
made you made that?
Yeah, I
That's your
rap on
song?
there.
That's hot.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Look, I was saying to myself in my head, where do I want to get started with you? But I have to say, if you don't know, you are a big child star, okay? And when people just relate to people like you, because when you remind us of something good, you remind us of when we were young. It's like you remind us, a good ice cream. When you see the ice cream truck come by, you're like, oh, I used to get that one. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, son, I know him.
That I think you hit the nail on the head. And listen, I've been told a lot of things, but being told I remind you of the ice cream man, that's probably one of the sweetest ones I've heard. That
Bam.
might be the new name for my tour.
Let me tell you something. Before we get into, your Disney classics, I want to go back to something that I think people may have forgotten, because you were in this business for a long time. You have been in this business for a long time, but people forget you were with one of the most popular stars back in the day, Shaun. You started your career on Pee Wee's Playhouse. Okay, this was your
Yeah.
breakout role. Well, one of them. This is what kind of got you into the game. Am I correct? And look how cute you are. First of all,
He was adorable. Yeah, I mean that definitely got me like very known in the New York TV industry, people.
yes.
So when I did that show, all the adults kind of started knowing like who I was in the casting game. So it definitely opened up a lot of doors. Yeah.
How was it working with Pee Wee Herman? Do you remember anything fun about it or
I
funny he
do. I
did?
have
Or
I have vivid I remember some of those days better than I remember some stuff that happened last week. I don't know why the mind works like that.
uh,
But yeah, I mean, they basically made that show just like playtime for us. They
mhm.
put in a lot of effort, I think, to just make sure that we never were exposed to like a get to work sort of aspect of it. It was just all fun time for us. And Paul, who was Pee Wee, was always just the sweetest, nicest guy. Me and him have the same birthday, and let me tell
Wow,
you, every year, as long as he's been able to find me, he has sent me a card or a call every single year since we made that show.
really?
Yeah, so he is I mean, that lets you know a little bit about the kind of guy he is. Just an incredibly sweet, warm, and loving guy.
That's amazing to hear, because we like to hear good things about people that we grew up with, because some of us
Yeah,
don't get to meet those people, so we have to live through you or whoever
sure.
we're hearing the story from.
Yeah, I agree. It is nice to hear that people that we looked up to, or that they were in our lives, that they turned out to be cool. Because a lot of times you find out the hard way, and it's like, ugh, you know. I had that happen to me with a couple of athletes when we were
Mm-hmm.
making Mighty Ducks, and like, I'm a grown. That stuff happened to me when I was 13, and I
Mm-hmm.
still got like a chip on my shoulder from some stuff that a hockey player did to me when I was 13. So that stuff
Wow.
with you, it makes an impact.
Wow. I just want to, while Sean's giving us some great stories, I just want to tell everybody who's joining us on whatever social media you're watching, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment. And if you want to talk to us in the live chat, you could do so, and throw some questions in there. Thank you so much. Now, Sean, I talked to you a little bit before the show, and just like I expected, you have a great personality, but just like a lot of your characters, though, your character had most of your characters had a smart mouth. Okay, um, I mean, really fast on the draw, and that's what we really liked about whenever we saw you in anything that you did. So, as a real person growing up, did you have a smart mouth?
I think so. I think so. I grew up like I was the youngest of five brothers and four brothers, and I had two brothers and two sisters. So they were all older. So
Mhm.
I just kind of started finding joy in getting them to laugh by like saying something smart to people, or
Mhm.
like giving an adult the middle finger. That was hysterical to them. So yeah, I kind of was like that as a kid, and I think that's kind of probably why my mom got me into the TV business in the first place, because I was just a smart aleck, and people were like, "You either gotta smack that kid in the mouth or get him into like the acting business, one or the other." Thank you.
Now, Sean, did you ever have a moment there in the early parts where you wasn't really sure if you wanted to do that, or maybe you
No,
thought against
never.
your?
I always wanted to be in the movies from right when I was very little, and I don't know whose idea it was to go and take me to the talent scout. I don't think that was my idea. But once I was on like my first set, I did a commercial with Bill Cosby. I was
Mm,
instantly in love with the whole game, the business, comedy, just show business in general. I mean, it's a good gig if you can get it. It's a good job.
absolutely. But you know what? Now I have to go right into the classic, and I don't even know which one I want to do first, because I'm just so excited to talk about them. But the Mighty Ducks. the Mighty Ducks. What? Let me tell you something. Me in India. Okay, I got to go back to my best friend. I remember we waited for every one of those movies to drop, Shaun. I mean,
Right.
and you know what was so good about it was just seeing you guys elevate each movie. Just I couldn't wait to see, how y'all would look at the next level. Like I want to see how y'all grew up, or Joshua
Yeah.
Jackson, how he was gonna look, and he everybody had a crush on him, and with
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
couldn't wait to see what silly thing you were gonna do. Were you
Everybody
gonna
had
pass
people.
gas?
People had a crush on me too,
No,
Kara.
no, yeah,
People
for
had a crush
sure.
on me. It's a numbers game,
Yes,
Good
yes.
people. I remember one time. Oh, that's a good picture. Can you throw that up there?
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see
let me
these
go
people
back
can
to
do.
that photo.
Look at these guys. Would you look at these guys? I mean, they turn out to be all beautiful guys. See, that's not fair because in that photo, I
Yeah.
still didn't have teeth yet. That was me on the comeback, but didn't have a teeth in my face yet. So I'm not really smiling in that photo. But yeah, man, look at that. Like Aaron, who's
I
the
got
guy
another
on
one.
the far right with the muscles, the guy in the white t-shirt.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
we did
Aaron.
yeah,
Yes.
we did heavyweights together. He's the fat
Yes.
kid from heavyweights.
Here he go. Wait, but he's not fat. Like you say, he ain't fat no
There he
more. A
is.
pretty handsome guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. Look at him, man. So yeah, all these guys around me turned into these beautiful guys. So good for them.
Let me ask you a question that's kind of a little bit offbeat, but I want to know. When you hear people, I think you're a nice looking guy. I know you've been through your own rough times, but when you keep yourself up, you look good. Okay, you're a
Thank
cute
you.
guy.
Thank
But
you.
when you hear people always say kid stars aren't ever cute when they grow up, how does that make you feel? Did you ever internalize that at all when people say stuff like that?
Not really. I haven't really heard that one that much. It's like I didn't know that was a thing that everybody said that child actors get ugly when they grow up. I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought it was that we all turn into drug addicts. I didn't know it was that we all got ugly. I didn't know that.
I feel bad for saying it now.
No, I didn't even know it was a thing. But no, so I've never had internalized it really. But I mean, definitely there's a certain stigma. Like there's kind of a certain expectation that people have of what will happen to
Mm,
uh, you know, kids that are actors, what'll happen to them when they grow up. There's definitely that, and that was, you know, I was always aware of that, and it was
mhm,
weird because, I was conscious of that path. Like, hey, that could be a possibility. That's almost what people expect of me,
mhm.
and I don't know. I've sat there sometimes being like, did like did people will that into existence just sitting there expecting me to be a drug addict because people were
Wow.
saying like that I was on meth and stuff years before I was, so I
Wow.
don't know. I hope a million people didn't speak that into existence.
Man,
That
you
would be
have such a
horrible.
good point about that.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Words are so powerful, Sean.
Yeah, and like I'm telling you, for years before I even saw hard drugs, people were like, "Oh yeah, I heard you were on drugs. Like I heard you." And I'm like, "What? Who would you hear that from?" I think I took sort of a self-imposed
Mhm,
break from the industry
mhm,
when I was 21, and I didn't really realize after 2 or 3 years how difficult it would be trying to get back in the loop. I just thought
mhm,
it'd be there waiting for me, and I could just walk back into it. But I think when you're at a certain status and you're
mhm,
not there anymore, people start to look for reasons why. And so I think the obvious reason was probably, oh, maybe he's on drugs. And I think that, people who knew me knew that I was using like the gateway drugs like alcohol and pot. So maybe that's why they thought I was doing that years before it happened. But it was strange because I had those like kind of weird epiphanies where it was like, man, I'm at the spot where people thought I was at, and I used to tell them I'm not.
mhm.
Somehow I'm here. It was weird.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that makes me think about Aaron Carter. The
Oh
child pop
man.
star Aaron Carter who just passed away,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
I just
looking at
watched
it
his. Yeah, so sad.
very sad. They don't know if it's a homicide or drug overdose, but it's just people. I went on his Facebook page just the other night because I had heard him say in a lot of his IG lives that people were so rude to him in the comments, and just looking at how people were speaking to him. Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't even know.
Like what was an example? Like why? What was their beef with him? I don't get it.
They'll just say, "Guy, you're sorry," or he posted like, "If you want me to come perform in your town, hit up my management." And people are like, "Nobody don't want to see you, and it's a shame that
Oh,
you got to ask people to let you know if they want you there." And it just
ooh,
was unnecessary comments, you know. Because this is a guy who had broken so many records when he was young, and he said that
yeah.
he put everything in and had done so much for his fans, and then for them to speak to him like that, you know, all the time. But
That's
it's harassment, really.
that must be very hurtful for him. I think though he definitely puts himself out there though in a way that like it makes himself a little more vulnerable to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, not I'm not being critical at all in any way. I'm just saying, you know, oh my god, did you hear that? We
No, I
just had
didn't.
like an earthquake. It was at
Oh
least a
Lord,
4.2.
really?
Yeah, I mean that was something. It was at
Wow, this
least
is
a
the first
good.
time on this show we ever had an earthquake. You okay?
I hope it's the last time. Woo! I'm hoping there's no aftershocks.
Look, strap yourself down now, Goldberg. You supposed to be okay with getting hit. You the goalie.
You know, let me tell you something funny. I'm on this Cameo, right? You know what Cameo is.
Yes, I do know what
And
cameo is.
so I have wonderful fans, speaking of fans.
Uh-huh.
And I have some funny fans too. So yesterday I got a Cameo request. Hey Goldberg, will you give a shout out to my brother? Give him a pep talk because he's getting his what do you call it when you get your tubes tied?
Oh, talking about getting it pulled.
Yeah, yeah, right. He's getting his tubes tied.
Okay.
And so they
Two.
want me to tell him, you can
Mhm.
finally, congratulations, you can finally pull the goalie.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah.
Damn,
And
that was
the
that
reason
was that was fire. I wish I had thought of that one.
the reason I'm asking, I want to bring it up is because what is the most common line you hear people come to you and say from the Mighty Ducks?
Well, Mighty Ducks is I'm Goldberg the goalie. That's the identifiable line. And then, but a lot of people want me to say this pleases me, and I said that in that movie Heavyweight.
Yes, yes. I was gonna
Yeah,
get to that. I was gonna get to that. You look, I gotta say, look, we all over the place today because I'm just so happy to be talking with you.
yeah. I'm
This is
sorry.
this
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. This interview is not going in any kind of order, but I want
Yeah,
to
we're
say
just kind of chatting, is what it feels like.
absolutely because I've been wanting to
Okay.
chat with you for so long. So
Okay. Good.
this is I gotta do this. Fat is out of here, mister.
Get on the scale. Get off the scale.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite moments ever.
Yo, it was that. Let me tell you something. Me and my brother have watched Heavyweights a million times. It is so hilarious. You were so smart, so funny in that movie. Your little facial expressions, just your little one-liners. I mean, for God's sake, you work with Keenan and Kel, all the people you ever work. I'm not Keenan
Yeah,
and Kel, but Keenan. But
yeah.
was it as fun being on that movie set as it was for us to watch?
I definitely, absolutely. We had a blast. It felt for us like we were at summer camp, and
Yeah.
all of us got along so well. We were like brothers, you know? And so
Yes.
we just cracked each other up constantly. And so the cameras just kind of like picked up on that, I think. I think that's why that movie's so dope, you know?
Ben Stiller did an amazing job kind of helping lead the cast in that. And I just want to show this photo because if you haven't seen this movie, please get Disney Plus or do whatever you have to do to watch it. I don't care if you're a kid or you're an adult, you will laugh your butt off. It's the same guy who was fat back in the day with you. What your friend Era, who was also the Mighty Ducks. Let's bring him back. He's one of the main characters, or the main character right here in the movie.
And listen, Kara, let your people know, like, I'm not selling tickets to this movie. I don't get any money off Disney Plus, so she's recommending it to you just straight up on the merit of like that it's going to be a funny movie, and I'll co-sign on that. Like, I saw that movie recently, and I
Mm.
gotta say, it's a funny movie. So I
Funny.
could find that. Get Disney Plus and check that out.
I wish. Well, maybe I shouldn't have promoted the name either. But
Oh yeah,
I just.
yeah,
But you know why? Because it's just a great movie, and I want
yeah.
people to see why, if they don't know, why you were such a special uh child actor. I mean, just charisma for
That
days.
is, you're so sweet. Like that is such a sweet thing to think about. Thank you for that.
But for real, Sean, when you look back, do you not see that about yourself? Because sometimes we can't see what others see in us. I mean, this is the scene that you were talking about just a second ago.
Yeah,
They called that you were like sort of a godfather of the summer camp in that movie. And Keenan
yeah,
came there. His name isn't Keenan in this movie, but his name was Roy. Your name was
right.
Josh, and he came into the little the place you sleep at the camp, and he told you that there was a hot new nurse there, right?
Right. And there was. And there was. I
And you started looking at him. Can you say it? Do you remember what you said?
think I said it displeases me. Is that what I said? That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I mean it
know,
was.
I've been thinking lately, now that I'm doing stand up comedy, I was
Uh-huh.
thinking about using that outfit that I'm wearing in that scene as like my stand up comedy costume. What do you think
Yes,
about that?
I think
You
so.
guys should do that?
I
Adidas
gotta
suit?
go back to it. The track suit.
The tracksuit, yeah.
Yes, I think that'll be good
Because
because
you
it'll
know how
bring people
comedians
back.
like they have their look, you know what I mean? They have their outfit they wear all the time. So I was
Yes.
thinking about that. And even with the hat, you know, the Kangol, how he used to
Yeah.
wear it.
I had
I
that
could do with
photo
that.
of you, and I didn't bring it up here, but I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, you look, you got it, you got it. I do have a photo of you. I believe you were telling comedy right here.
Yeah, that's me telling jokes. That's about maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I got into it really hard at one point, but then right after that photo, I would say maybe the following year is when I began to really fall into dangerous, no pun intended, time, so to speak, with my drug addiction.
Mm. Well, I want to talk about your drug addiction, and
I'm
I'm.
sorry, I don't even know if you meant to talk about that or whatever. Like,
You know what? We will. We
yeah.
look. You don't brought it. That you don't brought us there now.
All right, there's no going back now.
Look. So I mean, okay. I tell you what. We'll start somewhere great. This is
Yeah,
you graduating from drug court, right?
that's a
Is that
beautiful picture. Yeah,
yes? How long ago was this?
that was about a year ago.
A year ago. Now I know when people have substance abuse issues, it's a everyday fight, Sean. So when you look at this photo here, what does it mean to you when you remember this
Honestly, when I
day?
look at that photo, I am so grateful to that woman there, that judge,
Mm,
because I mean, I'm gonna start crying right now.
mm,
Um, First of all, not only did she choose me as a candidate for the drug diversion program, so I didn't have to sit and rot in a jail cell,
mm,
but throughout the entire process of going through drug court, she kind of just loved on me, like with
mm,
this kind of maternal energy. And it got to a point where I was in treatment early on, and I was 96 pounds. I didn't have any teeth in my face. There wasn't like a me to care about. So I was doing it for other people at that point. And very early on, I didn't want to like mess up in court or test dirty because I didn't want to let her down.
mm,
So really her energy and the way she made her court really helped me get through that process. And I owe a large part of my life to her, I guess. And not only me, I mean, I saw her do that with uh, everyone that came through her courtroom in the drug court program. I mean, 10 out of 10, literally everyone that came through, we all had success. So when I see that picture, that's the first thing that pops out at me. And I'm just grateful to her in a way that she'll probably never even know, because
mm,
I wanted to tell her on that day when we took that photo, but I didn't know we were going to take a photo, and I wasn't really prepared. And then I did have a couple of minutes to speak, and I like got so emotional that I just cut myself short, and I didn't say what I wanted to say just because I was a quivering idiot in the courtroom.
Well, that's okay. It was a big day for you,
It
you know.
was absolutely.
It's so many places I want to go because in your story it's been people who along your difficult journey, made sure they came back and tried to give you some help. I know you had your manager, you had your friends who, at times I heard that somebody actually when you was at your lowest bought you a van. Is
Yes, I've had friends bend over backwards for me, buy me things. Yes, buy me multiple vans, two vans, two vans. The first one blew up.
Wow, that's what I
Yeah,
heard. Okay.
yeah,
True.
blew right up, and
Wow.
so there had to be a second van.
Wow.
And the
And
second van got stolen two times. Two times. This was my life out there. So the van got stolen once, and this was no regular van. This was like a conversion van. So like inside had four lazy boy seats, driver, passenger, two in the back, and the back had a fold out bed. I mean, this was a nice little spot on wheels.
mm-hmm.
So this dude that I was hanging out with, hustling with, stole it from me, and my friend helped me get it back.
Mm,
Paid like hundreds of dollars to like have the ignition replaced because we didn't have the key. And so we went and found the van, retrieved the van back from this guy. And about a couple weeks after that, I parked the van in a spot I shouldn't have been parking it. And the same guy saw me, came and stole the van from me two times. Second time he
wow.
had a taser gun. But that's just the kind of stuff that happens to you when you're out there on the street. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's life.
Yeah.
That's the life every day. Every day you're getting jacked or jacket. That's how it is out there.
At that time in your life, were you really appreciative of what was going on, or were you just totally not even able to be appreciative at that point?
At which time is the time I'm talking about, like with the van where
Yeah,
I'm at
yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah.
At that point, I was right in the beginning of a very chaotic and violent drug addiction, and
Mm,
that was right at the start. So if you can imagine like a roller coaster going, that was right when it was like I just was going like
mhm,
that. So no, I wasn't thinking about anything besides where's my next sack gonna come from and how I'm gonna get that.
mm. Now, Sean, I have to be honest. When I saw this photo of you, I think it was last year. It took me to a place, and I want to show people on the left is you on the first Mighty Ducks, I believe, and this is you heavy into your drug addiction. And it took me a place that I went to when I was thinking about people like Whitney Houston, because it was a couple of times during Whitney Houston's battles where I actually prayed for her. And I'm talking about not just God, please help this person, goodbye, amen, like really pray. And when I saw that picture of you, I promise to you I did the most sincere prayer for you.
You
And
know, I believe you because I feel like that's how I'm sitting here.
mm,
I feel like I'm the product of people's prayers. It's a crazy thing to say and
mhm,
to think about. Like I'm, you know what I mean? But like
mhm,
it's 4% of people are able to get off heroin.
mhm.
They
Wow.
they go. It's just a very small number, and so I know that I did it through prayer myself, just asking God for help. So I'm just in a place where I don't know really how it happened. I'm grateful for it every day. But when you say you prayed for me, like I believe you because
Mhm.
I have felt that in my life, like the power of people's prayers.
And let me tell you,
Thank
so
you and
no,
thank you for that.
no problem. And I was glad to do it. And even though sometimes we look at movies and we love them, and then sometimes we disregard them, it's amazing what just seeing somebody when I was young that was young as well give me joy by just playing a character, touch you so much that you want them to do so well. Because let me tell you, it's a lot of drug addicts that we see every day. I go to another job, and they come up ask you for something, and sometimes it's just so easy to disregard them. But what makes a person just stop and actually want to pray for another person who has that issue? Because maybe because I saw you on TV, I don't know. But all I'm saying is to people out there, sometimes let's just pray for people. You never know what a prayer can do for somebody. Even if they don't know you praying for them, just put it out there. Like you said, people kept saying, is he on drugs because they didn't see you? But you said sometimes that made you feel like when you weren't on drugs, that maybe all those thoughts helped to put you where you were. So if that
It's a
happens, what
thought
could
experiment
positive
that I've
thinking
had.
do? Sorry, go ahead, Shaun.
I didn't let you finish the last part of your sentence. I was just saying it's a thought experiment that I've had. I mean, it could be. I know that it was definitely even my family,
Mhm.
for some reason, assumed that I was on drugs.
Wow.
Yeah, it was strange.
Did you have a moment where you got out of contact with everybody or something? What
Basically, yeah. I just fell out of touch with people.
Well, so many times, and we have Dee Dee Jones here asking what brought you to your crossroads. But I guess along with that, I have to say, so many great child stars, and you guys are all smart and you all work very hard and you put in adult positions like, Lindsay Lohan is a big example of that. And, Lover, part of my childhood, had a struggle. But was it the fame that got to you, or was it personal life? What exactly brought you down to that point?
I imagine it was a combination of all these things, right?
Mhm,
But I mean, if I could acutely try to pinpoint what happened, I got into a severe depression when my dad died, and
mm,
I had a fiance that left me, and I just lost my mind between those things. And my lease ran out where I was living. I had a 1 year lease, so I didn't have a spot to be at,
mhm,
and I didn't have anybody to be anywhere for,
mhm.
and it just was too much for me. And the first time I tried meth, it was like an instant relief. It was like a weight off my chest. So it helped me. I was in a bad spot, and the meth was helping me before it started to destroy me. But that's really what happened. It was really I lost my mind over my girl. Really, that pushed me over the edge. And my dad had just passed too within 2 or 3 or 4 months.
Wow. Now, I heard you say somewhere else to go along with that. You and Aaron Swartz, you hung out a lot. You guys are friends, correct? And back in the day, you said that you had money. You weren't the richest child star, but you had money. Was it hard? Like, was there a slump in your career? Was it hard to kind of, you were up on a high and then it just suddenly trickles down? What does that do to you? It's almost like that jock syndrome. Like, always, you getting the love from the people, then it stops. How does that feel when that happens? Or is
Look,
that your
in my
experience?
situation, my mom was like a gambler, right? So she used to like funnel some of my money to go gamble. So
Mm,
basically, she didn't want me looking at my bank account. So when I was coming up, it was always, don't worry about money, don't worry about money, don't worry about money. So I
mm,
really never looked at money. And I remember being in, I guess I was like 23 or 24, and I used to make regular withdrawal. So every 2 or 3 months, I would go take out $5,000 or $10,000 from my CD account and put it in my checking account. And I
mm.
went to go do that, and my banker said, "You got like two more times left." And I was like, "What?
Right.
What do you mean?"
Wait, wait
Yeah.
a
He's
second.
like, "You're about to be empty." He's like, "You have 2 months left." And I was like,
I know how it is.
I don't even know how to go look for money. I don't know how to check for money. I don't even know. You feel me? I was in a
I
bad
know what
spot.
it feels like. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, so that's really what it hit me like a ton of bricks.
I'm
And then
sorry.
it just became when I had gone through my savings, then I was just kind
Uh,
of living off of like, guest spots on TV, like an
mm,
episode here and there. And it used to be not I don't know anymore, but it used to be if you booked a good commercial role, you had a
mm,
good commercial plan, you could make 15, 20, $30,000.
right.
So I used to do those too, and that would, fill my gaps in.
I'm sorry to have laughed like that, but we all
No,
know
I'm
how.
glad we're getting a laugh. I'm glad.
We all know how it is to get down like that. Um,
I wonder. Here's what I wonder, because I've been telling my story all over the place, and I wonder how it sounds like, as a man, to just come out and be like, "Yeah, I lost my mind over a female." You know what I
right.
mean? It doesn't feel manly to say that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it happens to guys. You know what I mean? I feel like that happens, and girls. But I feel
Yeah.
like it's one of the main things that happens that definitely uh, sends addicts into relapse. Absolutely, it's one of the main causes that people fall off the wagon because of a relationship or some something like that. So I just feel like if I share that, you know people need to definitely. I've learned to
Mhm.
guard my mental health very
Yes.
carefully. And I put in effort to do that every day. I wake up, I do my routine, I do my yoga, I have my practices that I do. I do my, even down to like some foods that I put in my body. So I've shifted to being completely unaware of what my system's doing and putting like meth and heroin in my system,
Mm.
to trying to be very conscious about every little thing.
Well, Izzy the Egyptian vulture says you're not alone. We've all been there,
Word,
and it's
word.
liberating to say. I want to know, and if it's too personal, sorry, but you did note that your relationship is one of the things that sent you kind of over the edge. Has that person ever came back after hearing you say that and say anything to you? Was there any discussion after she found
No,
out? No, not at all.
no.
Would you welcome that for healing, or do you not need that?
I don't need that, and I mean, I would imagine it's best just left where it is.
I understand that.
Um,
Definitely understand that. Going back, because we gotta get back to where you made it out of all this, because I know you had your experience with the drugs. You had some issues with getting put into jail for a little petty theft crimes, and your friends were always there. Tell us about what Drew Gallagher means to you.
oh man, Drew's like he was definitely there throughout this entire chapter, and like, man, like it helps to have somebody to call. Like I was out there on the street, and he was a guy I could call. He would help
Mhm.
me out. Like if I needed to cash my SAG residuals, I didn't have a bank account, so he'd help cash my checks. And a lot of times he fed me and gave me
Mhm.
clothes, and he was very, very, very helpful.
Last thing I'll say about this is a quote that you had, and I like what you said. You said you don't have a drug problem until you run out of money.
That is the truth. When you have money, you're just getting high, having fun.
Mhm.
Now, when you're used to being on a drug, you need it and you can't afford it. Now you have a drug problem. And that's what I ended up with, a drug problem. After about 6 or 8 months, I'd run out of money and I needed my fix. And I saw the people around me were like hustling. You know what I mean? They had their
Mhm.
different hustles. So I just kind of learned how to do that thing. And it was for me, it was kind of like a part that I was playing. I'll be real with you. Like I
Mhm.
internalized that as no different than like if I had to play a role as like a street thug. It
Mhm.
was just the same as like becoming someone new. It's just like acting. So yeah, that was I'm glad I'm glad that's over with. When I look back at that,
Mhm.
I can't even believe that was me.
Mhm.
I can't believe it was me. And people, don't do meth, all right? You don't want to do you don't want to do a drug that has
Mhm.
you committing robberies that you don't remember.
No.
They're like, "You robbed a Gap store." I'm like, "No, I didn't." They're like, "You did." I'm like, "That is impossible." And then they showed me the tape. Kara,
And you don't remember. Oh,
that's
that's
me. That's me.
wow.
I recognize that fool.
Is
Yep,
it
that's
hard
me.
for
I
you to
robbed the
look
Gap
at?
store.
Is it hard for you to look at your photo of yourself?
Yes, it is.
Well, let me take it down then.
No, that's all right. But yeah, it is. I mean, I feel bad that everyone had to see me like that. I feel bad that everyone was like affected like that emotionally. But, you know, if we can turn it into a positive thing and some people can, find it useful and heal from it, then we're winning, right?
Yes, we are. And just to go back to times where you're winning now. You back on the right track, and we're all very so proud of you. I know that I am.
Thank you.
I'm glad. So my prayer was answered. Okay, how about that? I want to go back and just show. Yeah, that's right. Let's give it a clap for you.
Yeah, I mean that's good stuff right there.
I mean, because think about it. I mean, who would have ever thought one of my favorite movies, two of my favorite movies I watched growing up, see you go through this struggle. I pray for you. And then now I'm actually speaking to you on
And
my
we're
own
sitting here
podcast.
chatting.
How
That's nice,
crazy is
right?
that?
That's beautiful.
How awesome is God? you
That's
know?
beautiful. God is good.
Yes, he is.
I'm
And
getting goosebumps right now from you saying that.
I mean, I've thought about that. I mean, it's truly amazing to me that you can have that moment. I mean, I'm telling you, me and my brother, fat is out of here. We in there laughing, baby, all the time.
No, I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I did not know that heavyweights had the kind of impact that it had on people. I just didn't know.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I knew it was popular, but I didn't know that people like that it touched people in that way. That it like helped some kids that were like heavy. It helped them deal with depression or deal with feeling awkward at those years, and help them go to school and help them find their sense of humor. That's one of
Mhm.
the best compliment like things I've heard is people were like, "Yo, I saw you." And it made me go home and be like the funny guy. And instead of being like the fat kid, I went to school the next day and I was the funny cool kid. That's
Yes.
that's beautiful, and so just an accident. We were just going to work having fun, so it's a beautiful unintended consequence.
That's
It makes you think some of these movies like
great.
that have the opposite effect on people. It
Mm,
shows you the type of powerful effect a movie can have on someone, and
bingo.
you never know what little scene somebody's going to see in a movie, and that little thing is going to just like make them hate somebody when they grow up, or
Mhm.
you know what I mean. So
Yes.
we kind of have to be careful about what we show our kids, for sure, for sure. You got any kids, Kara?
No, I,
Oh,
I I just lost a cat this earlier this year. That was
oh,
about as close as I
sorry.
done got.
I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
about that. I know how that feels too, to lose some pussy.
Oh,
I
whoa, whoa, whoa,
didn't mean it
Goldberg.
like that. I didn't mean it like that. Damn.
You Goldberg, so we'll accept it. What else would we expect from you? I mean, look, I never even thought about you. Nobody even cared that you were overweight because you were so damn cool. Like,
Yeah,
you know
that's what
what I
they
mean?
say. And I never really felt like I was fat, really. I never felt like a fat kid until I was like see pictures and I would go, "Oh my god, you big dude." Honestly.
Oh my god. Somebody need to put you in a movie right now.
I'm trying to get back in. I am trying to get back in.
Let
And you
this
know what?
man
There's
back
so
in.
many movies and TV shows. It feels like somebody's got to have a spot for me somewhere, right?
Yeah, and people don't even know. And I'm still pissed they only had one season of this show. Freaks and Geeks was a good
You
show. Jude Apatow, whatever his name is, he put it out.
showed up and showed.
He
Yeah.
said he had so much trouble getting them to even put that movie out because they didn't think it was going to be relatable. And now it's a cult classic. They should have listened to him. And you had a part on that in that show. I don't know, and I know people got to remember that show. Do you remember being on that set as well?
Oh yeah, that was a great set because look, I'm sitting there with a front row seat
Mhm.
watching like some mega stars blow up right in front of my face. It's like watching popcorn right
Mhm.
before it pops. You know what I mean? So it was an incredible energy there. Seth Rogen, James Franco, Linda Cardellini. Who am I missing? Jason Segel.
Yes. So
Watching these guys gel and coalesce and become stars. That was a great place to be.
it's
I wish
almost like
I
a
wish they
living
did more
color for
episodes.
actors. They had so many stars there, they didn't even have an idea that they were going to just blow up like that.
Yeah, I mean, they should have just kept that show rolling. Somebody must have gotten fired over that. Somebody.
Definitely had to. They needed to. I'm telling you.
for
Now,
sure.
because your all your casts were very good, and even if we go back and look at the Mighty Ducks cast, I mean, Charlie, like I said, um, Joshua Jackson ended up being on Dawson's Creek. And I don't know why, but black women love Joshua Jackson. Like all the black girls.
Don't know why. He's a good looking dude.
No, he is a good looking guy, but I'm just saying, like, they loved him. And
It's a
if
special
I
thing, huh? And have you seen Josh in his new TV series, the one where he plays a doctor that's going around killing everyone?
no, but I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Fire,
Fire.
fire.
I can believe that.
It's
He does a
really,
great
really
job.
good. It's really good.
I have to check it out. I'm
Yeah.
getting to because I want to ask you, how was it working with him and also working with Keenan, who's on Saturday Night Live? And Keenan is so talented, one of the biggest child stars from my generation. Tell me, how was that? Because he's so
We
smart
would
too.
Keenan, we would just laugh all the time. I mean, that's it. It was like a constant hangout. And Keenan's just the chillest guy, you know. He'll give you the shirt off his back too, so he's a good friend. And it was a blast, you know.
Absolutely.
And you know, Keenan, like, he's funny on Saturday Night Live, right? And he's
Hmm.
funny in these movies, but hanging out with that fool, I'm telling you, it's like your side hurts. You have to walk away. You have
I
to be like
believe it.
Keenan, stop, bro. I just need some time to get my side back. Okay?
Right.
Give me like a
That-
cool 45. Just shut it. Yeah, it's like that.
Shut it down, Keita. Shut it
Basically.
down. I can
Hmm.
see that. And I have, and just we was just talking about that he directed Judd. How you say his name?
Judd. Judd
Judd
Apatow or Apatow.
Apatow. He's one of the biggest people in Hollywood making all these movies. And here's a
Yeah, he
photo
is.
with you, him and Swartz again here.
Yep.
Do you remember this day?
I remember shooting that scene because I know that outfit that I'm wearing. So that means we were shooting the finale. So that took about a week, and have a lot of memories over that week. It was a crazy time. But basically, listen, I'm gonna be real with you.
Mhm,
About that age, I'm starting
mhm.
to look around at the female extras, and I'm just trying to get like some time in the woods. Feel me? That's all I was caring about. Was like,
Right.
Keenan, help me talk to this girl, or help me get talk to this girl. You know what I mean? That's all I was thinking about was Slim Jims and like talking to females.
Look, before I get done with these movies, The Mighty Ducks, I gotta go back. One of the biggest stars from the 90s, 80s, whatever. Emilio Estevez. How was it working with him, Emilio? Because I loved him back then as well.
Dude, that guy was dope. He
Was
was
he?
dope. Yeah, he would rent out a movie theater and like take us all to the movies, and we would just have the whole theater to ourselves. I'm not sure necessarily why he had to do that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I know why. Because he was so famous at the time, he couldn't just roll up in a movie theater. That's
Right,
what it
right.
was.
He was a
Yeah,
big
I forgot.
star.
I'm thinking back. I'm like, why the heck would he do that? Was it COVID or that's what it was? He couldn't roll up in the theater, so he would like rent it out, and we would all go. But Emilio's a cool guy, dude. I think
Mhm,
at some times, imagine, Kara, you got to go to work, right? And at your
mhm,
work, there's 12, 13-year-old dudes.
mhm.
It's like after about hour 4 or 5, it's like, all right, dudes, you know,
Yes, I get that.
I
Yeah.
need to step away from you people. So he was amazing. He had amazing patience because never once did he ever like lose his cool or look like
Mhm.
aggravated. Never one time was he like, F these kids. I would tell you, I would
Right,
take joy in telling you right now, man, that Bombay had attitude, but he did it. He did it.
absolutely. I want to just note to people that you were actually on the cover. Like if you had the VHS of Mighty Ducks, you were on the cover of the movie. You represented the movie. Um, and so when we fast forward to now, and again, we won't say the word, but the Mighty Ducks are back, okay? And it's called the
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks Game Changers. I'm gonna throw it out there, Shaun. They need to let you come up on there. They need to break you off
Thank
a
you.
scene. They need to
Thank
break you
you.
off a scene, okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
They might need a goalie coach. I'm
Ooh,
just saying. I'm
oh,
just saying. I don't know if
okay.
they're doing year 3. Are they doing season 3?
I'm not sure, but they need
Need to
to,
be
and
on
they need
there.
to put you on it.
Yeah, I just watched it like 3 weeks ago for the first
Mhm,
time, and I got chills. It was so dope, like seeing the Ducks,
mhm.
20 years later. So I
Quack,
want to be
quack.
on that show. Quack, quack, quack. Oh, look at us. I'm about
Look at
to
you trying to
see
be cool.
I'm about to see a couple of those dudes tomorrow at a wedding.
Real Oh, okay. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and then like one, two, three, four, five, six, probably about I think about 6 of us. We're all going to the UK in December to do an event there. So we'll be out there.
That's great because I see people. You go, movies like The Mighty Ducks. People really like to see you at Comic Cons and things like that. Isn't that correct? You guys get to go out there and get shown a lot of love.
It's a blast, dude. Like every time I go to one, it's just a love fest. People just come up and they're so nice and they're just like happy, like, yo, we're happy that you're better. And that
Yeah,
you never get sick of hearing that ever, ever.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't. And we
It's
are
kind
so
of
glad
whack. I'll be honest. It's kind of whack because I don't really enjoy selling my signature.
you
Like
don't.
I would just rather give a fan a signature for free.
Mm.
But it's the market right now, right? And there's those conventions, so you know what I mean. It is
You
what
better
it is.
make your money, Shaun. Make your money.
That's right. But I would feel better, doing some more acting parts. I would feel much more comfortable. Always, every single time. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's how my parents raised me. But when
Mm,
I'm doing these conventions, every single time they go to pay me, I get like this sick feeling in my stomach.
mm.
Every single time. I need someone there to like accept money for me because I can't handle that. I just feel bad charging people for my signature.
I
So
get it
anyway,
because
I'll
you
get
love
over
your
it.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just seems like when you're a celebrity, an autograph is like part of the territory, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you sign up for. I did a movie, now I'm gonna have to sign some autographs. But people, there's a market for them, and they're collector items, so people collect them and trade them. So it's not like it's always just for a fan. A lot of times, I'm signing and selling something that somebody will sell and trade for a profit or whatever.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy, and we're
Excuse
happy to
me.
hear that you don't want to charge us for your autograph. But we'll understand if you
But
you know.
having said that, DM me because I got jerseys and Funko Pops, and I want to sign them and send them to you direct.
Yes, yes. You talking about me?
I'm talking to you and whoever.
Okay, cool. All right, y'all heard
Well,
them.
not you. I'll send you one on the house. I got
Yes,
you, girl.
that's what I was aiming for. Before I get you out of here, Shaun, I want to say that I know that I had late comedian David A. Arnold on this show. He
Oh my
passed
god.
away a little while ago. On this show, he talked to me about his substance addiction or substance problem, and I noticed that you had actually signed up for one of his comedy courses. What was the reason why you had chose to learn from David A. Arnold?
Well, I have a couple friends. One of my best
Mhm,
friends in life worked for him for many years, and
mhm,
I had never really heard of David,
mhm,
even though he's been at it so long. I'd never heard of him, and over the summer, she took me to go see one of his performances, and I was just blown away by the guy.
mhm,
Blown away, just by his. You know, you got to really be in person to really understand David's personality. I think
mhm,
the way he infects an audience and just his energy and his flair and his comedy. So
mhm.
I was just blown away by how funny he was. And then when I found out he was doing a workshop, I was just like, geez. And if I can have a chance to go learn from this guy, that'd be fantastic. And that was before I'd even known that he had a reputation for being like a comedy guru, like teacher guy. I didn't even know that was his thing. But yeah, the weekend before the workshop, The workshop was on. I think he passed away on Wednesday or Thursday.
Mhm.
So 2 days before the workshop, which kind of, I'll be honest, it threw me for a loop and it knocked me into some kind of weird existential crisis for like a week.
Man.
It hit me hard. His passing really did, I'll be honest, because he was so vibrant, full of life,
Yes, he
things,
was.
and healthy.
Yeah.
He's in the gym lifting weights, and things were like he was just getting warmed up as far
I'm
as like,
telling you.
dude, people are just starting to get to know about him,
Mhm.
and he had the chance to be who knows, probably like modern day Bill Cosby. I think
Yes.
that's what he was setting himself up to do. Like his family and it was like modern day Cosby. It was like
Mhm.
millennial Cosby. So it was, what a tragedy. I'm glad that you had the chance to talk to him and get to know him a little bit, so you could experience him. I'm grateful for my friend too, because of her introducing me. I got to stand with him only one night. I only met him one night outside of his. He did a set, and then she spoke to him for about an hour in the parking lot, and I stood right next to her the whole time, kind of hijacking on their conversation. So I got to see him and I got to experience him before he died a little bit. But yeah, he had a drug thing too, and
Yeah. Alcohol.
alcohol. And I don't think he talks about it, but I think he used to do crack. I think was his thing.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he overcame from that, and he look where he came from. He
Yeah.
came from the bottom to the top.
Yes, he did. And rest in peace to David A. Arnold, because it really shook a lot of people. It shook me because, like you said, he was so full of life and talking about his career and how he had been a TV writer and working behind the scenes, and then to see him get big through social media, and then have a relatable family and be such a good father and a good husband, and
Sorry,
it
his
just seemed like he
family.
was snatched away, and
Yeah, you really sit there and like a lot of times we all say there's a reason for everything, right?
mhm,
And I believe that. Like I live my life thinking that God is here and watching over, right? Like we're not just doing this on our own. When something
mhm,
like that happens, it's like, what the hell is the reason for that?
right.
That just shakes your whole foundation. It's like, well, what? Maybe it's not. Maybe you aren't. Maybe nobody is watching down. So it's like it was weird. It was weird seeing him go the way he did.
Well, you know what? It was a hurtful thing, but God knows better than us. And what I can say is, you're still here with us, Shaun, and I'm so happy you are, and
Yeah.
a
Thank
lot of
you.
people are. I hope, and I feel like you will. You get some more roles. You should. I mean, you are great at comedy, and I'm sure you probably
Thank
better at
you.
other genres too, just as good. But I want to see those doors open for you. You deserve it.
Hey,
Um,
I already know that when you say prayers, they work. So if you just throw one in for that for me, that would be appreciated.
I will. I will. You
Okay.
just keep being yourself, and know that people love you. I know, like I said, it's an everyday fight, but I want you to just remember that it's people who understand, it's people who get it. You are never alone. Hell, I need to remember this for my damn self as well.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
a substance abuse problem, but we all got our own demons, Shaun. You know that.
That's right. Yeah, so it always helps to know you're not alone.
Yes, because it can you can feel alone even with people around. I know
That's
that
true.
much too.
That's
But I
true.
just want you to leave tonight knowing that we got you. We got your back. And yes, and we thank you for your brilliance, for the sacrifice you made when you was a child to bring us some joy, even for 2 hours on the screen. We
That is so
appreciated that.
sweet. Thank you for saying that. You made my night.
That's what I wanted to do. But before you get out of here, you're gonna tell us about this comedy tour. Is this a real thing?
Yeah, oh no, that's a real thing, and it's kind of like what you were saying. So typically, I think when comics go on tour, they've
Mhm,
got like an agency that's representing them, and they're kind of like tied into the whole comedy club syndicate. And I'm not doing that because I don't have an agent, so I'm doing a grassroots thing. And I
mhm,
just said to my lady that helps me out, my sort of agent, I was like, let's put it out there that I'm on a tour, and let's put it in our minds that we're doing a tour on the spring, and let's make it happen. And so I put that post up there, and people start contacting me like, hey, my cousin is Jim. He runs Side Splitters. Give him a call. So like I'm making all these contacts, and I look down. I'm like, wait a second, I got a comedy tour here. So it was really cool to have it happen like that. So yeah, in the spring, I'll definitely be out to cities doing my thing, and I can't wait. I actually built an act. I've been out here doing open mics, all right, for like the last 6 months, and I
Great.
have an act, I almost have an act that I really like doing, and I can't wait to perform it for you guys. You're gonna love it. I know it.
You know what? I can't wait. Look at you, just looking all good. Look, I gotta go back to this throwback picture right here too. Look at you. You went from Pee Wee Herman. Look at you. Look at your little cute self. Look at that.
And then I got some new pics. Do you have the new ones? Since I know you're good grabbing photos. Russell Peters, you know him?
I do know Russell. Oh yeah, that's right. Russell
So he
Peters
hooked
hooking you
me
up.
up. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hooked me up and let me open for him, and I think he's gonna let me do it again. Here's what's up. I'm hoping, Russell Peters be going on tour, like
Yes.
real tour. Russell goes to, like around the world tour. So I'm
Yes.
hoping, one of his stops, he's like, yo, swing by India.
Right.
That'd be nice, right?
That is so sweet. You know what I'm gonna pray for? Hell, Ben Stiller need to make a movie and put you in it because he ain't made a movie in a minute. I ain't seen and being funny as hell. That would be
Ben
great to
Stiller
have you.
is he's the writer and director of a show called, I think it's called Severance. It's on Apple TV. You heard about it?
Severance.
Yeah, it's pretty sure that's
No, I
what. Yeah,
haven't, but
it's so good. It's really, really good. Ben he's an amazing director. Like I think that's what he's been doing when he's not acting.
yeah. Well, you need to look. You need to throw him a line in the DM or something. Come on, Ben, hook my boy up. Come
Hey, I
on.
want to do heavyweights too. I don't see how that hasn't happened yet. That seems crazy to me. We should definitely do that movie, right?
Yeah, we throwing that out there in the air. Look, I can
You
talk to you
need to
all night,
get
baby.
you need to get Keenan. Have you reached out to Keenan before?
I never have, no.
You need to reach out to Keenan, get him on, talk him into it, and if you talk him into it, we'll probably get we can get Ben. You get Keenan, we can get Ben. We get Ben, that's a movie.
Hell, don't you know Keenan?
I do, but I don't want to like ask him for that because he's busy. You know what I mean?
Look, I
You got
wouldn't
to
give
ask
a
him.
damn. Just throw it out there. Look, be like,
He knows
look,
I want to make
Keenan.
heavyweights too. He knows that.
Look,
I
this
don't
how you
want to
do,
bug his
Shaun.
ass in the DM. Maybe I will. You know what? F it. Maybe I will bug his ass in the DM.
Yeah, and you know what you should say? You should say Keenan, aka Roy. Do you know what really pleases me? What really pleases me would be for you to hook a brother up. Let's get this thing going.
That is exactly right. To be honest, we haven't spoken in years, and we just reconnected a couple months ago. So we just started to talk again for the first time in a while.
Well, before I go, let me give you an old saying. Closed
Uh-oh.
mouths don't get fed. Like Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx said, he can only say yes or no.
you're right about that. That's a
He can
very good
only
point.
look. It ain't time. Don't worry about that. Be humble. You know what you got. Don't worry about that. Like, every now and then we got to take one on the chin. You know what I'm saying? You may not want to
You're
ask,
absolutely
but
right.
shit, ask.
Sometimes you just got to take your cards and just put them right on the table and be like,
Right
"Yo,
up on the table.
you're absolutely
Look,
right. That's good
God,
advice.
God bless you, Shaun. This has been
Thank
wonderful.
you.
You have made my day, my week, and I
Same
love you,
here.
brother. Make sure you take care of yourself. You
Thank
already
you.
know what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you.
Absolutely. And I'll see you guys next time on Kera Dangerous Talk. I'm out of here.